Okay, so this is Google Earth, and it's a free piece of software that you can download and put on your laptops and computers at home. You also probably have a limited version of it on your phone. It probably came preloaded on your phone. So you start it by clicking the Start menu button. That's a little round Windows button, and then searching for Earth. There were several computers in here that don't seem to have it. Some people are trying to do it through the web browser. I don't know if that will work or not. I don't know if it has all the features. I know that the phones do not have features that we need, like dropping a pin. Okay, so when it comes up, it's going to look sort of like what you're looking at here on the screen. And one of the things that we're trying to learn from it right now is what is latitude and longitude. And so one of the ways that we can learn that is by clicking the View menu and coming down to Grid. When you do that, you're going to see that it superimposes a whole series of different lines over top of it. The horizontal ones are lines of longitude, or latitude. I'm sorry, the horizontal ones are latitude, and the ones that are going from the North Pole to the South Pole are lines of longitude. All right, latitude horizontally, longitude are the vertical lines. Okay? So the way that you move Google Earth is by putting your cursor on the Earth and pushing down with the pick button and moving it. Now when you do that, it tends to move around in space, right? So you can correct that. You can correct it so that north is up by coming up here to this corner and clicking the north button right there, and that will put the North Pole back up. Okay? So you can scroll. If you scroll along the equator, it'll stay horizontal for the most part. Right? Likewise, if you go straight up and down a line of longitude, it'll stay vertical also. But it tends to get sort of mixed up, and so just keep pressing that little N and it'll kind of put you back to where you were. Okay? So it's got a relatively good level of detail, and so for example, you can search for places. So I could search in here for Newport Beach. Newport Beach, California. Bing, and I click, and I hit search, and it'll take me down to Newport Beach. Notice all the lines of longitude populating, and so you can actually look for something, right, and find it. Like, for example, I have a boat. My boat is located right there. So that's my boat. He moved. He's no longer there. That's my crusty architect neighbor. Okay? Any rate, you guys can drop a pin and find out what the coordinates are of any particular place. So the way you drop a pin is you come up here to this toolbar at the top, and there's this little thing that looks like a push pin, and you click, and when it drops, you can move it. So I can put this thing right over Tropical Sol, and I can give it a name. So let me pull this over here. This is the dialog box that goes with that pin, and I can just type in a name, Tropical Sol.
And that'll save to the hard drive?
No, that will save to your Google account if you're signed in.
Oh, okay.
But right now I'm not signed in. So SV Tropical Sol. All right. Oops. Put a cap right there. At any rate, when you drop a pin, it'll tell you the coordinates of that particular location. And so the location of my boat is at 33 degrees, 36 minutes, and 32.53 seconds north. That's north of the equator. So it's giving me my latitude first, okay? And then it gives me my longitude. Now longitude's a little trickier because longitude is read from this place called the prime meridian, right? Now the North Pole is a given. Everybody on Earth can agree where the North Pole is, right? And everybody on Earth can agree where the South Pole is, right? And so we can agree where the equator is because it's halfway between the North and the South Pole. So as far as establishing rules for where North and South are, the Earth naturally does that. But what about east to west? How in the heck did we come up with where does the lines of longitude start. Where is longitude 0? Well, that happens to run through a place called Greenwich, England.
Oh, Greenwich Mean Time.
Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, yes. So you guys have probably heard that, right? Back in the, I think it was after the pirates, right? I think it was in the early 1800s. I'm not positive, but I think it was about that time. Mariners and nations that had navies knew where they were from north to south, but they could never tell exactly where they were east to west. And so I don't remember if it was England or who sponsored a contest to see if somebody could develop a clock, right, that was accurate enough to tell where you were horizontally. And you did these things using a sextant, okay? And you had to use a sextant and a clock, right, that was very accurate. Because, for example, you could tell where you were from the position of the sun, right, and a time of day, looking on a chart where you are. In either case, so I'm going to go ahead and save this pin. So I'm going to go show you where the prime meridian is. Click OK, and then I'm just going to scroll my mouse back and zoom way out. Way, way out, way out, way out. Oh, there's Southern California. There's Catalina. There's Baja. Oh, there's the Tropic of Cancer. Look at that. Remember I talked to you guys about that? I'm going to keep scrolling out, and then I'm going to take the Earth, and I'm going to spin it, and spin it, and spin it, and then I'm going to push the north button. So do you guys see this line running vertical that says prime meridian? You guys see that? That is how they established, right, where the prime meridian is. It runs just near London, okay? And why? What was the preeminent superpower in the early 1800s?
Boats.
Which country was the preeminent superpower? England. They won the contest. I don't know. There's a mini series on it called Longitude, if you want to watch it. At any rate, so the prime meridian. So longitude is measured east and west of the prime meridian. Okay.
So is it called something on the other side? Something else? Or is it still called the prime meridian when it gets to the end?
That's called the anti-meridian, I believe. Let me get over to it.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
There's the anti-meridian. It's the point opposite the prime meridian.
Yeah.
Okay? But, at any rate, so let's go back to England. We'll go back to England. All right? So, approximately, what is the longitude of London?
Longitude is 0.
That's correct. The longitude of London is approximately 0 because it's going to be measured, right, either to the west or to the east of London. It's actually not London. It's supposed to be Greenwich, England, I believe. Okay? So, all right, what's this little line represent? Does you guys see that one? The one I'm pointing at right there? What line is that?
Longitude.
It's a line of longitude. What number is it? It's 10 degrees west, right? This one is 10 degrees east. So where do you guys think we are in lines of line? You guys are all going to move over to it. So we're in the 100 teens. All right, so watch. I'll spin us around to get us back near LA and straighten it out and zoom in on LA. And you can see that we're in the teens, right? 117 is running down near San Diego, right? We've got 119 running up by, so 117 is down near San Diego, and 119 is running up above Malibu, right? And then you have 118 running almost through the middle of Los Angeles. Okay? So our longitude is somewhere around 118 west. Okay? And that's the way that they're entered in. So when you look at the point that I dropped, SV Tropical Soul, Let me see if I can find a way to edit the point. I don't know if it lets you. Let's see. Where, what? You see something?
No,
We're smoking ourselves.
yeah, we're at 117.93.
Oh yeah, you can find out where we're at. I don't know if I can tell properties. Let's see that. Oh, there it is. Okay. So my boat is at 117 degrees, 53 minutes, 49.19 seconds west. The way it is listed is in degrees, minutes, and seconds, and it's in decimal seconds. Sometimes you can switch it to where it's just in minutes and degrees, right? So the seconds all become part of the decimal point. Either of those will work. All right. Now you'll notice that my boat is at 33 degrees, 36 minutes, 32 seconds north. That means north of the equator. Okay. So the Earth is cut up into 4 quadrants. Right. Quadrant 1 is north of the equator and west of the prime meridian. The second quadrant could be thought of as east of the prime meridian and above the equator. The one beneath that would be below the equator and east of the prime meridian, and so on and so forth. That's the 4 quadrants of the Earth. Okay? All right. I'm already at 11 minutes, so I'm going to stop this.